Hi, Assalamualaikum and welcome to everyone. My name is Muhammad Danish Hakimi bin Anuar. My metric number is 24302170. So the topic given is teen sexting, critical information for parent, educator and the general public. So I'm gonna talk about the introduction of the teen sexting. So firstly is what a teen means. Based on what I researched, a teen is someone aged between 13 and 19 years old. It also can be the adjective verbs like she was like she is still a teen, something like that. Other than that is sexting. So what is sexting? Sexting are some action like sending, receiving and forwarding the nudity. It can be different type of media like text, image and video. Sexting could be used as a sexual behavior between two consenting person. So now for the introduction, teen sexting. So what is a teen sexting? Sexting is considered a relatively common practice among teens. One of the biggest concerns surrounding sexting is that it is a digital file. Like we know nowadays, people can find picture information or something easy because we have Google, and now we also have a ChatGPT. When we just ask the information and we can get it earlier and fast. So back to the what I present. Whether it is a photo, video or text message, one digital media is create and share. The teen no longer has control over where it goes. So like I talked before this, when we use Google or ChatGPT, so when we use ChatGPT, we cannot control what we search, and what we want the information about. This is ourself. Ourself can control what we want to search. In fact, although close to half of teens report having received sex, about a quarter of these teens report forwarding and sharing the sex with other people without the creator permission. Okay. We have three objectives. The first one is the significance of the topic, and number two, the public issues and risks, and lastly, legal action related to the public.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurhafizi. I will talk about the significance of teen sexting, critical information for parents, educators and the general public. I have 4 points and I will read one by one. My first point is provide practical recommendation for parents and educators on how to address the issue effectively, focusing on providing young people with critical thinking skills and support rather than simply imposing strict control. The second one is advocate for education and prevention, promoting open communication between adolescents and responsible adults as a key protective factor. And the third one is inform and raise awareness among parents, educators, and the general public about the complexities and prevalence of teen sexting. And the last one is emphasize the important role of parents in shaping their children's attitudes and behavior by establishing clear rules and fostering a non-judgmental environment for discussion. Thank you. That's all from me. I will let my friends continue the other slide. Thank you.
Thank you, Muhammad Hafizi, for the explanation. And now I will continue with public issue and the risk. Okay, I will talk about cases in Baling, which is involved by 4 teenage boys, including 3 current students and 1 former student, who were charged with sexual assault on a female Form 3 student. Okay, the incident took place between June and August in 2 locations. In a classroom and an oil palm plantation area in Mukim Siong, Kedah. Okay. The suspect, aged between 15 and 17, were accused of committing physical sexual assault and were also found to be stored and share pornography recordings related to the case. Okay. They were charged under Section 14 in between A of the Sexual Offence Against Children Act 2017. Okay, these cases highlight serious concern about the safety and moral awareness among students. It shows how a lack of proper guidance and education can lead to harmful and life-changing consequences for both the victim and the offenders. The emotional trauma suffered by the victim, the legal implications for the suspect, and the negative impact on the community emphasize the importance of early prevention and awareness. Okay, from this case, we can learn the importance of promoting respect, concern, and moral education among youth. School, parents, and communities should work together to monitor student behavior, educate them on the dangers of sexual misconduct, and encourage open discussion about safety and digital responsibility. In the conclusion, this case serves as a reminder that protecting children from sexual offence require awareness, education, and cooperation from everyone in the society. Alright, now I will talk about the risk of the previous case, which is about the 3 school students and a former student resting in Baling. Okay, the first risk about the case, it's about the psychological trauma to the victim. Okay, the survivor may suffer long-term emotional and mental effect such as depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, which is PTSD, or loss of trust in others. Okay, especially since the crime involves peers and occur in a school environment. Okay, the second risk of the case, which is social stigma and victim blaming. Okay, in the many sexual assault cases, victims face judgment, isolation, or blame their community, which can discourage others from reporting similar crimes. The third one, we talk about the impact on education. Okay, both of the victim and accused student may experience disruption to their studies, reputation damage, and long-term education setback. Okay, the last one, the last risk of this case is about the moral and safety concerns in schools. The incident raised serious question about school supervisor, student safety, and whether educate measure exist to prevent sexual misconduct among students. Okay, the second cases of the issue about sexting is about 91% of underage rape case in Kedah involve consequence relationship. Okay, this case can closely related to sexting, as both involve risky sexual behavior among teenagers that often stem from curiosity, emotional attachment, and peer influence, but can be lead to serious legal and personal consequences. Okay. Consequences relationship, which is sexting, such as sharing intimate photos, videos, or message, may begin as an act of trust or affection. However, when this digital content is shared, it can easily spread of the mutual, leading to public exposure, blackmail, or even child pornography charges under Malaysian law. Okay. The fact that 91% of underage rape cases in Kedah involve mutual consents show that many teenagers do not fully understand the legal limit of sexual activity and the dangers of recording or sharing implicate content. Even if both party agrees, it constitute statutory rape when minor are involved, and many sexual material created or shared between the criminal offence. Therefore, this case highlight the urgent need to educate young people about responsibility, digital behaviour, consent, and the consequences of sexting. Parents and school must work together to raise awareness, promote open communication, and monitor online activities to prevent teenagers from engaging in action that could harm their future and violate the law. The last one, I will talk about the risk of this case. About 91% of underage rape case in Kedah involves consequence relationship. Okay, the first one about the legal risk. Even if both party agrees, sexual activity involving minor is considered statutory rape, and those involved can face serious legal action. Okay, the second one is about the psychological impact. Teenagers may suffer emotional trauma, guilt, or confusion, especially if they don't fully understand the consequences of their action. Okay, the third one is about the health risk. Okay, unprotected sex among minors can lead to sexually transmitted infection, which is STI, and teen pregnancy, which can affect physical and mental health. Okay, the last one is about the social stigma. Victims and families may face embarrassment or shame, leading to social isolation and judgment from the community. Okay, that's all from me. I will pass to Mama Akmal to continue the presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to Doctor. My name is Muhammad Hafizuddin bin Aman Shah. I want to present about legal action related to the topic. First of all, sexting law in Malaysia. Law for criminal sexual offences are generally provided for Malaysian at Penal Code 574. Rape is defined as consensual or sexual intercourse or consensual intercourse by using fear of death or hurt the woman. The woman sex or with or without consent with a child under age, which is 16 years, and considered rape. For example, Malaysia law said the rape is without consent by using threats or fear. Having sex under 16 always a crime. The sexual offences against a child at 217 protects anyone under 18 from all types of sexual abuse or exploitation. Section 211 of Communication and Multimedia Act 1998 provide that offence and send obscene or offensive content with an intention to annoy, abuse, threaten, or harass another person. Where the victim is a minor, the operator may be charged under Section 293 of the Penal Code. For example, against the law to send the rude or threaten message or video to anyone, especially child. Doing this, we can lead a punishment under Communication Multimedia or the Penal Code. So we can see about the provisions and related offences provided under Malaysian law for sexual offences. The first provision is Section 292 of the Penal Code. It is legal to distribute or obscene material. The punishment is a maximum of 3 years jail, a fine or both. In a simple terms, if someone shares a spread inappropriate or pornographic content, even through their phone or online, it's again a law, they can be fined, sent to prison for up to 3 years, or face off the box penalty. The second provision is section 290 of the Penal Code, which is sell obscene objects or document to young person. For example, this law exists to protect a minor from exposure to inappropriate to or harmful content that could negatively influence their moral or mental development. Anyone found guilty of selling, showing or giving such obscene material to young person can be punished with 5 years or box. The third section is 211, provision of offensive content of communication and multimedia at 1998. Any person found guilty of an offence shall be liable to fine not exceeding 1,500 ringgit or a term not exceeding 1 year or box. In addition, offender shall also be liable to a further fine of 1,000 for each day of the offence continuous after conviction. For example, if someone breaks a law, they can fine up to 50,000 ringgit or jail for 1 year. And if they still continue offence after being punished, they will be paid extra 100 for every day the offence continues. And a last section is 15 of the sexual offences against children at 270. A person commit an offence if he use a sexual word, sound, gesture or show body part with sexual intent towards child, force a male child display their body, follow, watch and contact a child, either person or online, with sexual intention, engage in sexual activity in front of the child, make the child watch or listen to sexual act or materials, and lastly, force a child engage in sexual activity. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi and good day, Doctor. I'm Akmal and I will be the last presenter for my group. I will explain about the opinions and conclusions. Based on our findings, we can see that even small actions can eventually lead to a serious problems. To illustrate my point just now, many consensual relationships today often begin through a simple smartphone conversations. Over time, these interactions can develop into situations with negative consequences. What's worrying is that the emotional impacts tend to fall more heavily on females rather than males. Many of them report that experiencing trauma, stress, or even symptoms of depression as a result of these interactions. According to Ringrose et al. In 2013, while depression and anger did not appear strongly as emotional factors in overall models, and although results seem similar between genders, the study revealed that girls actually scored much higher in both depression and anger when secondary sexting was analyzed. On the other hand, boys showed stronger active emotional responses in both primary and secondary sexting situations. Those findings highlight the importance of understanding how something can appear minor can grow into a serious emotional issue, especially for young individuals engaging in digital relationships today. Moving on to another important point from our findings, we discovered that many teens today have begun to normalize sexting, especially when it is connected to romantic relationships. For them, sending intimate messages or images has started to feel like a common way to show affection and trust. It almost treated like a new love language in modern relationships, which is when we saw it and we think it rationally, it is very nonsense. Many teenagers see it as exciting, fun, and something that strengthens the bond between partners. They often believe that because it's consensual, nothing bad will happen. However, this mindset is actually risky because there was a study conducted by Wobara and Mitchell in 2014 where they argued that teens who engage in sexting usually don't think about the possibility of their messages being forwarded, shared, or used against them later on. They simply see it as a part of the romance, something harmless and emotionally fulfilling. But here's the issue. Although it may feel romantic and meaningful in the moment, sexting still carries real dangers. Images can spread quickly, trust can break, and once something is sent, it's no longer fully under your control. This can lead to embarrassment, blackmail, or emotional distress. Hence, even though teenagers might view sexting as normal, we must remember that it isn't just a cute trend. It has a long-term consequences that many teens are not aware of. Lastly, based on the results of our study, sexting does have emotional effects on teenagers. Surprisingly, when we look at sexting by itself, it doesn't seem to cause any major emotional problems in the short term. In fact, it behaves just like other exciting experiences that teenagers usually go through while growing up. Most of the emotional reaction is active, meaning it's connected to curiosity, attractions, and the feeling, wow, this is so exciting. But here's where we need to be careful. Just because you don't feel the impact now, doesn't mean it won't hit you later. It's like eating instant noodles at 2 a.m. Fun now, and tomorrow you will be regret. And remember, the internet has a memory longer than your parents when you forget to wash the dishes. Once it's sent, you can't just delete it easily. This information is important because it helps us identify what needs attention when we create prevention and support strategies. So what can we do? First is parental supervision. Not parents checking your phone every 5 minutes, but enough guidance so teenagers don't treat the internet like a free trial with no consequences. Second is the schools must help too. They can provide counseling and education for a student to have a safe space to talk about it, because some teens panic quietly and you can see it on their face during assembly like, Ya Allah, please let nobody forward my picture. So in conclusion, sexting might look harmless today, but tomorrow, boom, your picture is on someone's WhatsApp group you didn't even join. Hence, prevention is always better than crying at 3 a.m. thinking, where did I send the pictures to them? With support from the parents and proper school guidance and better digital awareness, we can help teenagers stay safe online and avoid becoming memes of the month. Thank you. That's all from us. Assalamualaikum.